Toot toot, here comes the fuck train. This is a matchup that I don't think I recorded yet, so I figured I'd get it done. This is versus Death and Taxes, which is an interesting matchup. Normal Storm variants, being slightly faster than Doomsday, tend to be slightly favored against Death and Taxes, because they don't ever do anything turn one. They're like game one, turn one, they have no interaction unless they're playing some weird variant, with like Pithing Needle main or something like that, and then they have to Blind Needle. Anyway, so you get a free turn, basically. You always have one free turn versus Death Taxes, and even post board you pretty much always have a free turn. Doomsday doesn't take advantage of that turn as well as other decks because it can be a little bit slower, but it does have a lot of ways to get through the hate. So in game one, you can build past the turn piles that play through Thalia fairly easily. And in games 2 and 3, you have a lot of hate that you can bring in. You also have Burning Wish for Massacre or Void Snare. You have some number for Abrupt Decay main deck usually, or I think you should. So let's take a look at what happens. Let's see. They win the die roll, and here's the hand that I keep. Now, this is the sort of hand where on my turn, like, I think this is a keeper against any deck. On my turn, I'm going to have my draw for the turn and one probe draw to peel a Doomsday and try and get a turn 1 win. So that's an option. Otherwise, you also could just probe, see what they're on, and then play a Ponder to try and dig and get a turn 2 win. So this is a fast hand, but it doesn't have much protection. So I decided to keep this. I think it's a keeper, and they start with a port into Aether Vial, which, you know, makes it look pretty good that I kept a potentially very fast hand. So I lead off. I draw up top, and I lead off with a probe. All right, there it is. So they don't actually have any hate right now, which means that we have probably a turn to work with. So I think, I can't remember exactly what I did. Looking at it right now, I'm inclined to say play the Delta, crack it, and fetch a basic island and Ponder. There's also an argument for fetching a basic island and playing at the top, and then on the next turn you have a draw for the turn and can Ponder. You can also use the probe more aggressively. I think I'd probably play the top. I think I'd fetch an island and play the top. That is what my guess would be, since I'm going to get at least one more turn, probably, assuming they don't peel a Thalia. So I draw an extra land. That's good. We want an extra land. Play the Delta, fetch for basic island, and I decide to Ponder. Alright, now that's a pretty good Ponder right there. We have a second land and a Lotus Petal, so we can go off. We have the goods to go off with Burning Wish next turn. The pile would be, you draw the Burning Wish, and play, you draw the Burning Wish, probe into the Petal, play the top, the second land, and the Lotus Petal, and the 2 Lion's Eye Diamonds, and you'd have enough mana to play Burning Wish, crack a Lion's Eye Diamond for 3 black, and then go off from there. So I draw the Petal, and just pass the turn. And on their turn, They crank the vial up. Go a little faster here. Play another vial. Play Cavern on Human. And they decide not to run out their mom for some reason. Probably because they don't know what I'm on. Because Island Ponder is not a very clear indication of what I'm doing. Now, here I realize that because I have plenty of mana, the possibility of a natural tendrils kill is starting to become, potential. But the key is that because of the ritual and the double lion's eye diamond in the top, I have enough mana that I can probe into the brainstorm, play the brainstorm, and still be able to back out of a natural tendrils kill in just Burning Wish for Doomsday, like I described before. So that's what I decided to do, because there's an advantage to doing the natural tendrils kill, which is that they won't know I'm on Doomsday. And being able to hide that is potentially a huge upside. They'll think I'm on Tez or some unusual storm variant, but they won't get a read on Doomsday. So, they have nothing. That was 3 plows and a mom. So, I crack my Delta, get a swamp, play out the Lion's Eye Diamonds, and then I fire off the Brainstorm. And that was a Dark Ritual, a Doomsday, and a second Sensitive Divining Top, which is great, perfect. That's everything. I don't need any more. I have a natural tendrils kill, so I play out the second top. I use it to draw the ritual that I put back on top. Play the ritual off my floating black. Crack the petal for red. Crack the LEDs for black. I think I just crack 1 LED for black. To prove a point. Send a message. Don't need all that mana. And that's plenty of storm. Now, if that cavern was not a cavern, if it was a plains, I would have had to crack the second Lion's Eye Diamond so that I could use the top to draw, or I guess I could still do it. Basically, if that cavern was a plains, they could have filed in their mom and then plowed it to gain 1 life, which would have been a big problem. I have enough mana. Right now, I have enough mana 5 where I could have tapped the top, draw the second top, played it, and then still had the mana for tendrils to get the extra storm. Actually, no, I'm already at 10 storm count. I wouldn't need that. Never mind. Something to be aware of. They could potentially plow their own creature. But they scooped it up anyway, so that's game 1. So game 2, I'm on the draw again. Now this hand is a little weird. It's not super good. Top gives me a lot of long game potential. I have Rain of Filth and 4 lands and a piece of removal. So it's not super powerful, and ideally you want like a turn 1 or turn 2 kill against DnT so you don't even have to fuck around. But this is a sort of hand that can potentially fuck around very well. You have a ton of mana. You have removal for their hate, and you have top so that you can grind out a long game. So I decided to keep it. They play Flagstone into Mom. All well and good. I draw another top, so I just play a first top, and then they run out a Thalia that they grabbed. So I decided to just play my lands. I just start laying lands. I Cabal Therapy. I named Phyrexian Revoker there because I don't want them to Revoker top, because top is going to be important to my long game plan. So I spend a while just laying lands. Here they play Recruiter of the Guard. And they end up recruitering up. I don't know if it'll show it. But the card they got was an Ethersworn Canonist, which is threatening. With Mom, Thalia, and Canonist, I'm going to have a hard time removing both of them with just my Void Snare. Fortunately, they haven't been able to destroy any of my lands yet, so I'm just going to lay lands for a little while and spin the top and try and find a solution to my problem. So play Misty. They play a Vial. They come in for the beats. Yep. I don't want to go too fast because I want you guys to see what I spin up with the top. So no blockers. Come on, a little faster here, a little faster. Alright. Now I spin that top. Presumably, yep. Spin the top, and I see Abrupt Decay, Doomsday, Brainstorm. Beautiful, perfect, everything we need. So, I put back Brainstorm on the bottom, then Doomsday, then Abrupt Decay. The plan here, as you maybe can guess, is I want to draw my Decay Thalia at the end of the turn, so they protect it with Mom, and then bounce it with Void Snare and go off. Now, you probably noticed, like I said, they got the other Sworn Canonist, but they didn't actually cast it. I think part of that is because they wanted to hold up port and port me on my turn. And they got maybe got a little greedy and played the Vial, and they probably want to take the Vial up to 2 and then be able to Vial Canonist in to disrupt my combo. That's my guess. Also, the fact that they are holding up port is prevents them from playing the Canist. They probably think that Thalia is going to hold me off for the next 2 turns so that I can cast, or so that they will have time to take the Vial up and be able to Vial in the Canonist. Of course, they're not right about that. They're wrong about that. So, I draw Decay. I play the Valk. And pass. And now I have enough mana up, even with the Misty uncracked, that I can decay their Thalia in their end step. Now, they take up the Vial. Again, they don't play the Canonist, likely because they want to hold up port. They don't have a second land, or a fourth land, I mean. They don't have a fourth land, or else they probably would just slam the Canonist, and then I'd have to rethink my strategy. So, get a little lucky there. Luck always helps in a game of Magic. Luck and tight play are what you need to do well. Tight play is probably more important, but luck definitely helps. So they come in for the beats another time. Yeah, fucking feel the pain. Alright. Yep. Damage, end combat. Main end step. Alright, so I decay Thalia. They protect it with Mom. I untap. Now here I almost blow it. And in fact, before when I was saying you need luck to win a game of Magic, we have the win locked up here. Here's the play. I draw Doomsday for the turn. Let me just do that. Okay, first they pour one of my lands. Yeah, pour my Trop, fine. They maybe should have ported the Misty. Because it would have to try and tempt me to crack it. But I probably would have just let it happen. Anyway, so here's where I almost screwed up. My play here is with the Brainstorm on top, I should tap my top to draw the Brainstorm. Then Void Snare Thalia. And then crack the Misty, or play my Mire if they ported the Misty or whatever. So tap. The important part is that I'm supposed to tap top to draw Brainstorm. And then I have enough mana to Void Snare Thalia, play Rain of Filth, crack all my lands into Rain of Filth, play Divining Top, play Doomsday, and then Brainstorm into Lion's Eye Diamond, and then go off from there. But I don't do that. What I do is I play my fetch, then then I crack another fetch. So I shuffle away my Brainstorm. They gave me a super easy deterministic win. However, I'm a luck sack. And so even though I nearly fucking blow it there, I Void Snare the Thalia. Then I tap my top to draw my Brainstorm, and I'm momentarily mystified that it's not a Brainstorm. Realize what I've done. Realize that I'm okay because I got lucky and drew a Lion's Eye Diamond. So I needed to draw another cantrip or a Lion's Eye Diamond there to sneak my way out of that one. But fortunately, it happened. So we just play the Rain, play the top, play the LED, and then fire off Doomsday, give him the drills. I'll let it go full speed. Here we go. Super easy pile. Already got a ton of Storm. Nowhere to lose in this one. Just a normal ass pile. Set it up. I set it up a little differently so I can see what they got. I have the extra mana so I can set up the get a little extra Storm. Showboat a little bit. Here we go. Give them the drills. They know what's up, so they don't even let me resolve the Burning Wish. So yeah, that got a little lucky there. You can see that I did set myself up for the kill and then just fucking blew it right at the end. But yeah, that's often how the Death and Taxes matchups play out. Is you kind of just let it go for a while and you try and grind them if you don't have a fast win. And you just try and grind them out, find your removal. For sideboarding purposes, you saw that I had the Void Snare main deck. Normally it's a sideboard card. What I usually do is I take out Duresses because they're fucking dreadful in this matchup. And I bring in the Abrupt Decays. I bring in the Void Snare. And I bring in the Cabal Therapy if you have that in your sideboard. Because turn 1 Blind Therapy on Thalia is a pretty good play. If you have Probe Therapy, that's even better. And yeah, you generally just want to try and keep a fast hand or a hand with removal. And Burning Wish counts as removal because you can Burning Wish for Massacre. And sometimes on turn 2, you just want to Burning Wish for Massacre even if you don't have, even if they don't have Hate Out, because it's going to affect the way they play. And they're not going to want to overextend into a Massacre, and it buys you a shitload of time. So I think this matchup is slightly favorable. It's not great, but it is extremely winnable.